What's the craziest coincidence that happened to you? I was 15 when my mom decided I needed to learn responsibility by getting my first job. She drove me to every store in town until finally, this small coffee shop called Bean There hired me as a weekend cashier. My first day, I'm nervous as hell, fumbling with the register when this girl about my age walks in. She orders a vanilla latte, and when I ask for her name, she says, Riley. I write it on the cup and hand it over. She looks at the cup, then at me, and goes, Wait, did you write Riley with an I or Y? Why? I say, confused. Her eyes get huge. That's so weird. Nobody ever spells it right on the first try. I shrug. My sister's name is Riley, too. Same spelling. She stares at me for like 10 seconds, then asks, What's your sister's middle name? Grace. Why? The cup literally falls out of her hands and hits the floor. Hot coffee everywhere. Oh my God, she whispers. What's your last name? Patterson, I say, grabbing paper towels. She sits down hard in the nearest chair. I'm Riley Grace Patterson. I stop wiping up coffee. That's impossible. My sister's name is Riley Grace Patterson. We're both just staring at each other like idiots when she pulls out her phone and shows me her driver's license. Riley Grace Patterson, born March 15th. My sister was born March 15th. I call my mom right there, hands shaking. Mom, was Riley adopted? Long pause. Honey, we'll talk when you get home. Turns out, my parents adopted Riley when she was 3 months old. They never told her because they wanted her to feel like she'd always been part of our family. What they didn't know was that Riley had a twin sister. The girl in the coffee shop was literally my sister's identical twin. Her adoptive parents had moved to our town 6 months ago. She'd been going to the high school across town, which is why we'd never seen each other before. When I brought her home that night, my mom opened the door, looked back and forth between them, and just started crying. Riley number 2 had been looking for her birth family for years, but never had enough information. She'd tried those DNA websites, but nothing came up because my sister had never taken a test. The weirdest part? They both worked at coffee shops. They both played guitar. They both hated mushrooms and loved horror movies. They even had the same crooked smile. My parents felt terrible for never telling Riley about the adoption, but she wasn't even mad. She was just happy to finally have answers about why she felt like something was missing her whole life. Now I have 2 sisters named Riley, and yes, it's as confusing as it sounds. We call them Riley P and Riley M based on their middle names. They're basically the same person in different fonts. The coffee shop manager couldn't believe it when I explained why I needed the day off. She said in 20 years of business, she'd never seen anything like it. Riley M's adoptive parents were amazing about everything. They said they'd always wondered if she had siblings and were happy she found us. Both Rileys started hanging out every day, making up for 15 years of not knowing each other existed.